Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Rowena Dark Reel. But before we start the story, please consider giving us a like, but remember to always stay hungry. Today's story depicts a horrific incident. The crime transcended physical violence to torture leading to death. The incident, which is among other heinous crimes that shook Moroccan society in 2019. We would begin the story with the victim. Grace was born in 1984 into a family struggling to make ends meet. Grace's life was marked by hardship and a constant yearning for a better future. Grace's father had left the family when she was just a toddler, leaving her mother to shoulder the burden of raising her alone. The mother, a woman of unwavering strength and resilience, worked tirelessly as a domestic helper, spending long hours away from home to provide for her daughter's needs. However, the society in which Grace grew up did not place a high value on education, particularly for girls. Many families believed that daughters were better off learning traditional skills, preparing them for marriage and domestic duties. This societal attitude posed a significant obstacle to Grace's dreams of pursuing higher education. Grace's life took an unexpected turn when she was just 17 years old. She left school and was married. The prospect of marriage, though daunting, was seen as a path to stability and security for Grace and her mother. The transition from a carefree schoolgirl to a married woman was not easy for Grace. Grace, a young woman with dreams and aspirations, found herself trapped in a relationship that stifled her growth and dimmed her spirit. She divorced. After her divorce, she found herself back at her mother's home, a place she had left behind as a young bride. Grace's mother, ever supportive, encouraged her to pursue a career in hairstyling, a field that offered opportunities for both creativity and financial independence. Grace enrolled in a local hairdressing school, eager to start anew and build a better life for herself and her child. However, Grace's newfound freedom and independence soon took a dark turn. She fell into a crowd of reckless teenagers, drawn to their rebellious spirit and disregard for authority. Her studies took a backseat as she indulged in late-night parties and aimless wanderings. The consequences of Grace's irresponsible behavior were swift and severe. She neglected her studies, failing to attend classes and neglecting her assignments. Her grades plummeted, and she left the school. Grace, caught up in her own escapades, often left her child with her mother or aunt, neglecting her parental duties. Grace's mother, witnessing the downward spiral of her daughter's life, tried to intervene, offering guidance and support. But Grace, blinded by the allure of her new friends and the excitement of her newfound freedom, dismissed her mother's concerns. On the other hand, in the shadowy underbelly of society, there lurked a man named Adam, a nefarious criminal mastermind whose reputation preceded him like a chilling whisper on the wind. Adam's face, etched with the lines of 1,000 misdeeds, was a mask of cold indifference, his eyes glinting with a calculating malice that sent shivers down the spines of those who dared to cross his path. He was a tyrant to those who served him, demanding absolute obedience and inflicting cruel punishments on those who dared to question his authority. He was a sadist, deriving pleasure from the agony of others, reveling in their pain. Adam's wickedness was not merely a matter of his actions. It was woven into the very fabric of his being. He reveled in pain and suffering, deriving perverse pleasure from the misfortune of others. His heart was a barren wasteland, devoid of empathy or compassion, a void where kindness and love should have resided. Grace caught his eyes. Grace's return home was met with an unexpected encounter, a man who had been eyeing her from afar. This man, a local criminal named Adam, was immediately drawn to Grace's beauty. He saw in her a weak creature, with no father, no brother, no husband. She has only an old mother. Grace was indeed vulnerable in some ways. She had experienced the loss of her father and the dissolution of her marriage, and she was a single mother raising a young daughter. These experiences could have easily made her a target for someone like Adam. He was a master manipulator, able to twist the minds of others to serve his own nefarious purposes. He had bullied and tortured for 20 years. Can you believe that? He was arrested multiple times, each time facing increasingly harsh penalties. As time passed and Adam's release date remained uncertain, Grace's loneliness grew, and she began to seek companionship and solace in the arms of others. One day, she decided to stand up for herself. She told him that she was no longer willing to live under his control. She told him that she would make her own decisions about her relationships. He was furious. He threatened her and told her that she would never be happy if she wasn't with him. But she was not afraid of him anymore. She knew that she deserved to be happy, and she knew that she could not be happy with a man who controlled her. The realization that she had cheated on him and spoken badly about him behind his back was a crushing blow. He felt betrayed, hurt, and angry. He became furious. His reaction stems from a deep-seated sense of insecurity and possessiveness. He started to abuse and beat her, badly raped and tortured her. Then, the murderer was raping Grace with bottles in front of his friend and brother. His friend was filming the incident. The mother of the victim said that the rapist had also made holes in her daughter's body with a screwdriver. After raping her, the suspect hit the victim in the head with a hammer. Police found the victim, Grace, left in a Rabat street after being violently sexually assaulted by a 56-year-old rapist. She suffered a severe head injury and is taken to the top trauma hospital in the province. Grace died after complications from the injuries she suffered during the assault on June 11th. Adam was sentenced to death. He is facing charges for several crimes, including intentional homicide, use of items of torture, sequestration accompanied by torture, violence, disorderly conduct, and consumption of drugs. Other suspects are facing charges of providing a place for the crime, not helping a person in danger, and incitement to commit crimes. 2 other suspects are facing charges of recording and disseminating a photo of the victim,